It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
We gotta fight the powers that be. Got so many voices. Sit on the scene.
Yeah, we gotta fight the powers that be. You know, Sierra, man, she's been busy, man. While I was gone, I tell you what, she's hooked up. Dylan Reeves, he's an attorney, wants to talk about the case before the Supreme Court. He's going to come on August 26th. The director, Kirby Dick, on August 24th. This film is not yet rated. I've been trying to get hold of him for freaking years. And then former Senator Christopher Dodd is named MPAA chief, is tentatively scheduled to come on too. So I'm going to imagine how much fun we're going to have. I mean, I'm just, Sierra, good job, baby. Woo! Because before I left, I said, look, man, I want to get, even before Friday, I exposed it. I mean, there's something, when that decision came down, and if the video game character had a little nip slip, you know, we showed a little nipple action here, a little, you know, pubic hair, a little something, man, regulate away. But if you can split her upside the middle and have her intestines fall out all over the place, just make sure you rip the shirt in such a way it doesn't show her breast, then it's okay. And I'm like, what kind of sick minds are, running this place, man? So I want to pursue this. There's something genuinely there. Now, getting back to the through the wormhole piece, there was an experiment that they did I thought was interesting. Now, these are all Columbia and Princeton and big university woohoo guys. And one thing that they did is they had since the 90s they had random number generators. Now, it's just a computer software program that runs on your computer in the background, generates whatever. You slot machines, whether it pays off or not, just random. Well, this one professor found out that based on who was around the machine, that it was less random. I mean, it would change based on who was sitting there or the mood of the office, something that individuals were having some kind of an effect on the randomness of the number generators. So he's going, this is weird. How do you experiment for that? How do you determine that there might be something? Well, he had a unique idea. He goes, I'm going to send this software, this random number generator, to all of my colleagues around the world. And all these other professors and researchers and scientists and so on. I'm tenured, whatever, and I can get them to put it on there and just run in the background, and it just sends the generated numbers and the responses and whatever it produces to a server at Princeton. So he goes, all right, here, do it. Well, what happens over time, what he started to see was there was an effect on the generation of the numbers by the computers based on the mood of the people on the planet, and there were two instances. One, Obama's inauguration. Oh, positive energy, man. Everybody loved that. I mean, imagine. You had not Bush, promise of ending the war, a minority. I mean, this was like, high times for a lot of people around the planet. This is like, yeehaw. Sure enough, there goes the numbers are starting to, coalesce, and there was some kind of effect in this random number thing, blip on the radar. Okay. So that's like, all right, cool. They go back and they look at 9/11. 9/11 was a little bit different. Big, giant, spike, the randomness went off and, people had, but it had an effect 4 hours earlier. It started before the actual event. So it was kind of like there was a precognition, or there was people did whatever. There had some kind of effect that started before it actually happened. So they're going, when you have big worldwide events like this, it changes a computer program result. So there's something influencing something. All right. So how do you test for that? What would you do? I mean, okay. So now what? So they go, all right. Well, the argument that they were making is that we're electromagnetic human beings. Our brains work in electromagnetic. We're an electromagnetic field soup of the world. The Earth, creates its own magnetic field and so on. So there may be, the force. All right. So you got something like that going on. So how do you test for that? So what they did is they took at one of the universities, they had these two rooms. They put a man in one, a woman in another room. They separate them by like 20 feet between the rooms. They put them in, some kind of Faraday cage or whatever. They eliminated all electromagnetic influences from the Earth, counterbalanced them out, whatever they did. So they sit there and they put these probes on their head, and it looked like a bunch of spools of thread that had wires, looked like spools of thread around in a band around their head. What they were doing was creating a controlled magnetic field around their brain. So they go ahead and they dial it in for one of them, and they dial it in for the other, get in the same frequency and the same pattern and so on. Okay, we got it going. They sit there for 20 minutes. Twice during that, like 5 minutes and 8 minutes, they had a flashing light on one side of the guy and then the other side of the guy and so on. Well, she makes notes of what she experiences and so on. Boom, same thing. Saw a light at this time right here, syncs up. They repeat it, done. We got some kind of connection. Now think about it. You have, close by, you have no other interference. You put an electromagnetic field around one brain and another one. It's in the same frequency, and they're starting to influence or at least perceive what the other person did. And, that's cool. All right, you showed me something. All right, so there may be the possibility. Well, then there's talking about, okay, what happens when you get like a deja vu feeling, or you're hesitant, or somebody's watching you or something like that. So they do experiments with, people, they're looking at them, they got people staring at them, or they don't. And they're just sitting there with a blindfold on. Somebody's staring at me, somebody's not. Well, you get percentages. I mean, it's kind of like, you got a 50-50. Well, all of a sudden you start getting 53, 54, 56 consistently of people can tell somebody's looking at them or not. You got, statistical significance here. I mean, they're going, okay, there's something going on. So it doesn't take much to really have, that you're getting something out of it. So they do that, okay, if somebody's watching you or not. So you're feeling the vibe or something. A lot of us feel it. Or you feel like something's unsafe. You kind of take your foot off the accelerator. Something kind of, I've done this a lot of times. I trust myself. I'm like, hey, man, I get the into, something's not right. I just, take a whoa, do a better scan, what's going on. So you take your foot off the accelerator, boom. 18-wheeler goes whizzing by in front of you didn't see or something. I mean, it's this kind of thing. So they're going, okay, can you measure that? Is there some way you could do it? How would you rationally be able to scientifically argue that this could happen? Well, then you start getting into quantum physics, and you go, okay, you got matter, you got antimatter, you got time, you got anti-time. And as they're passing each other, going back and forth, they were like going, okay, well, we think we can get like a 5-second premonition thing going on. We can do a test. Can you feel that something's going to happen right before it happens? Is there some way you can measure that? Or is there some evolutionary benefit to having that happen? Well, this is the argument that they make. They go, if you're going, over the hill or into a village or you're whatever, do I pick the blonde or the brunette? Do I go left? Do I go right? Am I going to have a much better chance of, procreating if I go over here or over there? I mean, what are the senses that, is going to benefit me in my electromagnetic soup of, anti-time kind of probability broaching, whatever the heck? Okay? So this is kind of how they're arguing that this may have been something that was passed on generationally, and that we'll go ahead and do a test and see if there's something there. So this is how they did it. They put a bunch of college students, and over the years they do this, and they set them down, excuse me, and they get in front of a computer screen. So here's your computer screen. It has a curtain on the left, a curtain on the right. Behind one curtain, there's a photograph. I don't know, it's landscaping, it's something not horrific, semi-pleasant, it's a flower, it's a landscape, it's a mountain, it's snow, it's whatever. They put it there, on the other side, blank, nothing. You have two keys, all right? You go, all right, time to choose. I choose, I'm supposed to find the one with the photograph. They do it, nothing. It's a 50-50, no big deal. So they go, all right, we're going to amp it up a little bit. We're going to use porn. Well, maybe not porn, but something erotic. You have, some nice cleavage. You got couples embraced. You got them kissing. You got nice, sultry poses, whatever. So you have that behind them, and you go, what? Oh, all of a sudden it spikes up. If there was the promise of sexual relations or some kind of stimulation that way, all of a sudden they're much more likely to pick, before they know what it is, that side. So the point is, and there's a bunch of other experiments that they did, and I'll be, expanding on this in the future. We're running out of time, but, I'll tell you, this was of interest to me because I can see that what's happening is that for the first time, you're starting to have a scientific method by which you can look at maybe we are connected. maybe there is some kind of influence that we can measure. Maybe there's something that, we just, a gut feeling or something that, we shouldn't, make fun of. Maybe we can embrace. Maybe we can enhance. Maybe we can get better. Maybe we can be better people. Maybe we are connected more than you think. And if this starts to come out and you can show it, well, what if you're a bad guy? You want to manipulate it. You want to use it to your end. And the more we know about it, maybe we can, just be more peaceful. Find out we are connected, and that somebody's trying to make us bad, and we choose to be good. We'll be back tomorrow here on Declare Your Independence.